As we continue our election coverage this morning, we'll send it out to the Kansas First News political analyst, Washburn professor Dr. Bob Beatty. Bob is live at the Bettis Family Sports Complex at Lake Shawnee. Good morning, Bob.
Good to be with you on this fine election day.
And Bob, they're setting up the polling places. It opens in about 30 minutes. Have you seen any lines forming outside yet? You've been following a developing story where an alleged shooter in the death of 2 Topeka police officers was inside the house at the scene. What's the latest right now? We saw some of that unfolding, heard the gunshots, and just really gives you chills. What's the mood there now? Has it calmed down a little bit, or is it still pretty tense? Here's the latest out of Boston this morning. We now know the name of the surviving Boston bombing suspect. New this morning, Topeka police say a man is in jail after he allegedly stabbed another man late last night. We'll join up with Tom in just a second. He's outside checking the snowy conditions this morning. And speaking of conditions, travel conditions have the Topeka Police Department in Phase 3 for accident reporting. Tom, how you holding up out there?
Hillary, what did I do to deserve this?
I know, you wanted to go out there with that Santa hat. There are a lot of other ways to safely get ticks off, but a slow and steady pull with tweezers as close to the skin as possible is the best way. Then flush that little guy right down the toilet. You can find more information about ticks by heading to our website, kansasfirstnews.com, and clicking on news links. Tom, that's a great way to start your Friday morning.
Ooh,
Tick
gross.
watch.
I know, one of my favorite country songs by Brad Paisley.
Oh, I know. Something sticks and woods and checking for ticks.
That's right.
You brought some beautiful day after Valentine's Day roses for us.
Yes, I did. Yes. Did you get flowers?
I did get flowers, but you know what? I got them the day before Valentine's Day, which I'm assuming was they were just too busy.
And they're looking great?
They look good, but I don't really know after about one of these packets what to do, and that's why you're here to tell us how to keep the flowers alive. No, it's great to have a friend like you just always by my side, helping me with things like putting on a bracelet, which I failed.
We had about 5 seconds to try to get this bracelet on before the show started, and
You dropped it.
I dropped it. So as we start the show, I'm helping Hillary put her jewelry on. This is what we do during commercial. I can't do it.
He's nervous.
I don't know how husbands do this for their wives. It's very tricky to get.
It is tricky.
My hands are a little sweaty this morning, so it's even worse.
Well, don't touch it then. Before he shows us some of his skills, which we know you have, you got to tell us why this basketball is pink. It wasn't pink last year.
It wasn't.
That's what I thought.
We did away with the red, white, and blue balls.
Okay. Which is probably a big move, because that's kind of your go-to thing.
It is our go-to thing. Let's see
Here we
that
go.
pretty finger there. Oh, she's a natural. She is a natural at this. Look at that.
Oh, no. Tom, today has really been all about basketball, something we know very little about and certainly cannot play.
No, we had a Harlem Globetrotter on the show about 30 minutes ago. Facebook, we're talking about tonight's Big Sunflower Showdown, all about this big orange ball. Can you remember how to spin it?
Yeah,
he showed her how
this
to
is dangerous,
spin it
but
on
basically he did this kind of toss where you I'm not going to actually do it because it'll hit you.
It'll spoil your pop over there.
He threw it up, but when he did, he kind of did a little wrist action here.
Yeah, and put it on your finger.
And then he spun it, Let's try it.
Go ahead and give it a try.
I'm just going to do, you think
You want to do it on my finger?
I can't pass it off. You really want me to try right now?
Yes.
I don't even have a good, I need to stand up.
You can do it.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
This is good TV.
This is live TV.
I got a good spin there, 1.5 spins.
It was
terrible.
terrible.
Let me try one more time. Yay!
Well, thank you very much. I want you to practice while I do the weather.
I didn't pass Jim. Going for the gold as athletes all over the world gear up for the Paralympics in London next week. A local athlete is getting in some last-minute practice before he heads across the pond.
Earlier this week, we had a chance to meet up with Topekan Austin Hansen. He's a Paralympic bocce ball player, and he's no stranger to the pressure of tough competition or the Paralympic Games.
Austin leaves for London tomorrow morning to represent Team USA in bocce ball. He's currently ranked 21st in the world in his sport, and he represented the U.S. at the Paralympic Games in Atlanta in 1996. And in 2004 in Athens this year, he's representing the USA in the individual competition, and he's the only U.S. bocce ball player in the Games.
Austin says one of his favorite parts about going to the Olympics and the Paralympics are the patriotic feelings he gets during the opening ceremonies.
The opening ceremony is always awesome. There is nothing like the feeling of walking out into the arena to represent your country.
Bocce ball is originally an Italian game. He says he spends about 3 to 5 hours a day practicing for London. Austin's father, Gary Bearclaw, is also involved in the gaming process. Austin is a quadriplegic with spastic cerebral palsy. He's nonverbal and he communicates with his father, who helps him line up the ramps right where he wants them and exactly how he wants them.
Hillary was practicing here and she did not do well.
No.
Austin even let us play defense in his bocce ball game. It's much harder than it looks. If you'd like to send off Austin to London in style, join him and his family later this afternoon at the Kansas Neurological Institute. The send-off party's at 1:30 and everyone's invited.
And then starting in August 29th and running through the end of the games on September 9th, you can catch Paralympic action online at youtube.com/US Paralympics. Including the opening and the closing ceremonies, NBC has also expanded its coverage of the games, so check out your local listings.
Good luck to Austin.
We'll be cheering you on from Topeka and hopefully maybe getting some updates from his dad while we're over there.
He was super cool, really nice guy. He had these statements prepared for us, and it was just neat watching him play and how neat he could get the bocce balls to each other. It's like curling.
It is.
But kind of a summer sport, because, you know, curling with the brooms on the ice.
Or you even said it's kind of like a big game of marbles, and his dad said, yeah, kind of, it really is.
So good luck to Austin. He was a super cool guy to meet, and he lives up in North Topeka.
That's right. Walking in high heels. Most ladies know this is no easy task. Now add cobblestone or grass, and suddenly walking becomes nearly impossible.
Soulmates promises to save the day with a nearly invisible add-on that will put the swing back in your step. Hillary put them to the test.
Hey, welcome back to Does It Work, where I pick out an as seen on TV product and give it my review. Today, I'm testing out a product called Soulmates. With wedding season, graduation season, prom season here, a lot of ladies are having to put on high heels and maybe venture out into the grass. Well, we know that that is not an easy task. This is a product that promises to make walking on grass a whole lot easier in high heels. Let's take a look. It's a very simple product. Soulmates basically are little plastic add-ons that clip onto the bottom of your heels. They come in a bunch of different colors and sizes. For my demonstration, I chose clear, and I also chose the classic size. So it comes in narrow, classic, and wide. And I brought a couple of pairs of my shoes. In fact, the shoes I wore to my senior prom to test them out, because I remember way back when I was sinking into the grass left and right. So I'm going to see which shoes they fit on and if they actually work. Just looking at the material first off, they're plastic, but they're not a hard plastic. There's definitely some give there. I'm going to start off by testing it on just this basic pair of black pumps for work. And again, this is the classic size, so... Well, it looks like for this pair, the heel is too big, so I would have to upgrade to the larger size. This pair, okay, that's too big, so obviously that's not good. Okay, I have one more pair. I'm going to see if this fits. And just like Cinderella, it's a perfect fit. It fits nice and snug, and it makes these shoes, which I said I wore to my senior prom, not easy to walk in. So I'm going to clip on the other one and try them out. All right, this weather makes for the ultimate test. I'm going to try the Soulmates walking in soggy, wet grass. Here we go. Soulmates are an effective and inexpensive way to solve a problem a lot of ladies are familiar with. When I tested them in wet grass, my heels didn't sink at all. Just make sure you take the shoes you want to fit with you so you end up with the right size for your heel width. My only complaint is you can still sort of see them clipped onto your shoe, but standing in grass completely hides the problem. I give Soulmates a 7.